Hi everyone. The aim of the presentation is to explain about Angular. While facing Angular related interviews, what are the questions we may get mm, from the interviewers? Uh, how can answers for those questions? That and all, we are going to provide the overview of those type of questions. Here I just provided the life cycle looks of Angular. Like on the screen you can see the life cycle looks like the ng on changes, ng on init, ng do check, ng after content initialization, ng after content checked, ng after view init, ng after view checked, ng on desktop. Okay, these are the life cycle looks of Angular framework. Here we can see the data child relation while navigating the UI, how you navigate data from parent to child, child to parent. I'm not going to provide complete implementation of parent to child, child to parent data navigation, but frequently we used to face this type of questions how can you configure parent, child, child, parent. They may not expect the complete configuration, like they may not expect the complete code, just whether these people knows this topic or not, they try to extract the explanation from the candidate. Okay, so that's why I just providing the outline of parent child, child parent relation here. Okay, so on the screen you can see through at the rate input, we can pass data from parent to child. We can see the data flow diagram on the screen also. Same with the help of at the rate output, we can pass data from child to parent. So while facing this type of question, we just try to explain how can you pass data from a parent to child, child to parent. Just say by using this annotation input and output, we can pass data from parent to child, child to parent. That's enough. Actually, that's enough answer. Okay. On the screen, you can see how properties are configured, parent child properties are configured in the selector. Okay, just try to understand that piece of code, like a statement, the selector, property, the child property, parent property, how we configure on here. Okay, uh, we have different type of attributes in Angular, right? So we have components, attribute directives, and structural directives, right? So if we talk about attribute directives, ng model, ng style, and ng class, these all are the built-in attribute directives in Angular, right? So suppose if you want to customize that attribute, this question frequently we used to face from the interviews. Okay, so just go through the piece of code that I have placed on the screen. Okay, so with the help of further directive, we can create we can create the customized directive. So with the help of ng generate directive command, we can create the file of customized directive, and on the screen you can see the piece of code. Okay, uh, so there we can write our own directive code. So this directive we can use on the template. Okay. Here, I just provided the information of customized directive, how can you create that customized directive, like what type of code we need to write here, okay, write that TypeScript file, okay. That information I have provided here. You just go to the piece of code and you can able to understand. Later, I will provide presentations with the detailed explanation on Angular, okay. Well, in previous screens, I just provided the creation of customized directives. Here we can see how can you use that on template. Okay, just there in the previous screen, we just created a customized directive named as app highlight, right? So that app highlight directives, how can you use that directive on the template? Okay, you just go through this slide and you can able to understand how can you use that. Okay, how can you use that customer directive? Okay, structural directive, if, okay, if is one of the structural directive. So here I just provided that structural directive if information. Uh, See this structural directive, different versions having different implementation of this structural directive. Here I just provided asterisk by using the asterisk prefix on ngif. How can you use that on template? I just provided that kind of information here. You just go through this slide, you can able to understand how can you use that ngif. Okay, main thing is like the structural derivative means it's a boolean kind of operation, like boolean check whether it is true or false, whatever value provided from the variable or attribute, that information having true value or false value only. Like on the screen you can see I just used the ng of structural directive on do. Okay, there hero it's true, it contains means it's not null. This value exists now, this hero object exists now, that would fetch that attribute hero object attribute value name value. Okay, template, like ngif hero from the do template. Okay, there we have do's templates, right? On the view you can use those type of tags, right? Second statement, like template, there ngif hero is there, hero exists now, the name of the attribute hero object attribute would be displayed here. At the same time, direct template, like if if just check that here object is present or not. That object present, that would fetch the name attribute value of hero object. Okay, this is how we use this ng if structural directive. Here I just provided ng for structural directive related information, like ng for with the help of asterisk. How can you use that on template? Okay, like I just used that ng for on do tags. Okay, on do tag, like we can say like ng for let hero of heroes, like it's the like for loop, right? For loop means array of values. Okay, from heroes, see heroes is the main object, array of object. Okay, that one passing from there to hero. Okay, hero means single, heroes a number of values, hero that would fetch single row from heroes. Okay, like the so we have one record on hero. Okay, from that object we are just fetching that name value. Okay, like that we can use that ng for structural directive. Same like on the template, how can you use, we can see on the screen direct template, how can you use that attribute value on the screen. I just provided that information on the screen. Okay, here I just provided ng switch structural data information, like how can you use that switch statement on the template. Okay, you just go to this piece of code, you can able to understand. See, I just imported hero. Okay, here I just imported hero. So with the help of hero, the hero class, we are created a number of objects. Okay, so that object here in this component, I'm just assigning that heroes to heroes here. From that heroes, single object, heroes of zero means first record assigning to single object, okay, hero. Okay, so I provided this information here means, like hero contains a single record. Okay, that is true. Okay, if you don't assign any value to hero, that is false. If you assign any value to hero, that is true. Okay, so now we have passed heroes of zero means single record, first record assigned to hero. Okay, we have value with hero. Okay, see this like previous screen we assigned first record to hero object, right? So we hero, it means it's true, it has value. Okay, in the div tag I just checking ngif means a structural directive, check that value present or not. Hero is present, just ngif with the help of ngif structural directive, but just checking hero is present or not. If hero is present, that would fetch the attribute value name from the hero object. Okay, this is how we code in TypeScript file, component TypeScript file, how we use this on the template. Okay, that's the main reason I have provided the both TypeScript file in the component TypeScript. How can we write that piece of code? How can you use that on template? Okay, both I have provided here. On the screen, you can see, like we have list, right, list of values, right, on the template. We, like, we use it to provide text boxes, check box, radio buttons, list, right, list of values. This kind of controllers, this type of controllers we use on the template, right. So suppose if you want to provide list of values with the help of select tag, will provide that list of values, right. So here I'm just providing the piece of code, like how can you construct that list with the help of select tag. Okay, just go through this piece of code, like, with the help of select tag. Generating the list. Okay, list. So, like, with the help of ng for shell directive, see, heroes means like it's a list of values, right. That list of values we are assigning single record from heroes to h, and from h we are just fetching attribute, name attribute value, right. That value we are providing that list box. Okay, so like that we can use the structural derivatives in the select controller. Okay, forms, right, like, we used to see while working on UI, with the help of forms only we used to construct any UI, right. This is from the form only we pass values from UI to backend, right. So the Angular provided two types of forms, like one reactive form and template driven form. Okay, so we can use both things, depends on the feasibility of the requirement. Okay, so I just provided that definition of both reactive forms and template driven forms. Just go through this definition, you can able to understand. Okay, because see, in general we may not face this type of question, but the thing is, like, knowing the actual application construction, that is very very important. Suppose if you know how can you construct a single project, how can you construct an application, if you know the things, na. So the easily you can able to explain to the interviewer, so interviewer can understand, like, yes, this guy worked on this area, this guy knows these things, so we can get selected. Okay, that's the main reason I have provided, like, project related information. Like, while working on project, definitely we must work on forms only. With the help of forms only, we'll navigate data from back end to front end, front end navigate. That's the main reason I have provided this forms related information. Especially Angular, we have two types of forms, like one Angular reactive forms and template directed forms. You just go through this slide, you can able to understand the definition of reactive forms and template directed forms. See, here I have provided, like, suppose if you want to work on with the forms, what things we must know, like, these are the basic foundation class. Suppose if you want to work with forms. Okay, form controller, like, control test, test box, check box, select radio button, all are controls on, right. Suppose if you want to work with those controls, that one all we need to construct by using this form controller only. So form grouping the controllers, form array. Suppose if you want to pass array values, we need to work with form array. Validations, all the things will work with this foundation class. On the screen you can see, like, how we have used this form controller. Okay, see, like, I just created one controller, favorite color controller. That is one of the controller. So on the template, the controller is test controller. Okay, input type test. Okay, so this is TypeScript file, right? Direct, straight away, instead of creating the template with HTML file, I just providing the template information here. Okay, so how can we use this controller means, like, on the template we can just type, like, input type test form controller equal to the name which we have created on form controller, the class, right? That name we need to provide on the template. Okay, previous screen I just provided form control information that we use on reactive forms. In template driven forms, like, we use, instead of form control, we use ng model. Okay, favorite color is the ng model. Okay, on the template, like, ng model, how you use, like, input type of test, ng model equal to favorite color. Favorite color is the ng model, like, favorite color is the controller name. For on template driven forms, we use ng model to construct that test box controller. Okay, here I just provided template driven driven built-in classes. Okay, suppose if you want to work with template driven forms, mm, that we need to in there we need to work with ng model, ng form, ng model group. Okay, like like React, we use like form group, form controller, right? So here we use like ng model, ng form, ng model group. Okay, there is different, here is different. So with the help of these classes, we'll work on reactive forms and template driven forms. Suppose if you want to work with the reactive any forms like reactive forms or template form, we need to import that module. Okay, so on the screen you can see like just how I have imported reactive forms module, okay, from the library. Okay, then app.module.sql we need to import that form, then only we can able to use that reactive form module in the application. Okay, here I just provided component class information, like while working with reactive forms. In this class, like component class, how can you code? How can you when you declare these controls? Like profile form is the form group. Okay, first name, last name, that and all form controllers. Address means like it's a group of values, right? It's like, so we need to create that group, form group, and there we need to create form controls. Okay, like this, like this, we need to write a code while working with reactive forms. So, like in the previous screen, I just provided that component class, right? In that component class, like we have created form group, and controls, right? So under form group, we have created form controls, right? So profile form is the form group name, right? So reactive while working with reactive forms, this is the form tag on HTML file. We have to provide that group name. Profile form is the form group name. So each and every control, like first name, that is one control name, second last name, that is one control name, another address, set of groups, right? Set of group names, set of groups, right? So there we have provided that form group name and provided that controllers under that group. Okay, like this we need to construct that the reactive forms on the UI. Okay, like so we have created form, right? So on click on submit only, we can able to submit the form data, right? So we have provided controllers. Through controls we have provided the information, right? See, on click on button, I'm just invoking the update profile operation. Okay, so in the TypeScript file, I just given what can we do on click on update profile button. Okay, so there on click on update profile, on click on this button, that would go to that update profile, that operation we have provided in component class. Okay, like this we'll create form, a reactive form, will provide that form controllers, will provide that submit button, will pass this information from template to UI to component class. Okay, from there where we need to pass that information, like back end or wherever, from there we'll handle that type of code there. Okay, previous screens I just provided, like how can you create this reactive form controls, form groups, how can you submit that information. I have provided in previous screens, right? So here I'm going to provide the template driven form. Okay, suppose if you want to work with template driven form, we must use this ng model, ng form, ng model group the directives. Okay, we need to import that libraries. Okay, then only we can able to work with template driven forms in Angular. Okay, like in this component class I just provided that model attributes, that and all we are going to use on template driven forms. Okay, here I just provided the template. Okay, template, how can you construct this template driven form. Okay, we must use the form tag there on submit. With the help of on submit, we'll call that respect to submit method. That method we need to construct in the component class. Okay, form name, with the help of ng form we need to provide that form name. Okay, so here like like HTML controls only, like input type equal test. But like what I'm trying to do say, like there for reactive forms we use form control name, right? Here we use ng model for model attributes. There we use form control. Here we use ng model. That is the difference. Okay. So with the help of ng model, we'll provide the attributes here for each and every control. With the help of ng model, we have provided the attribute names. Okay. Finally, on click, like we need to construct a button. There, we need to on click on that button. We need to call that respective submit operation. So from there, where you want to pass this information, there we can handle that piece of code. Okay. Here I just going to explain about roots in Angular. Okay, it's like if you talk about uh, Angular UI framework, like it's like single view, right? Single view navigation UI, right? So see for that we need to create a routes. Okay. Here we can say, like I just created a routing app project. Okay, routing app project. In that project I just created two components, first and second. Okay. Like here we have like the app roots.ts file is there. What are the components we are going to add for routing, that we need to import. Here we can see, like how I have imported first component and second component. um, After that, like we need to create constants, root constants. Okay. Here we can see the constant roots constants I have declared. Path and component, like first component, that is one of the component class, right? Second component, that is one of the component class, right? So uh, how do you navigate that first component, second component? For that we need to provide path. Okay. Path means with that path only we are going to navigate from the application. Okay. First component I given the path as first component. Second component I given path as second component. Okay. On the template, like like the rotors, how can you make a call to that respective component through navigation, like that we can achieve by using this rotor links. With the help of rotor link, actually, like we need to use the anchor tag. Okay. The rotor link is the attribute for anchor tag. Okay. There we can provide that path, respective path. So it would provide the links. Okay, to provide the links. Through the links, we can navigate to that respective component with the help of the provided path. Yeah. Coming to endpoint consumption. Okay. So like APS, right? See, Angular means, like it's a UI framework, right? So we need backend to send data and receive data. Okay. Uh, for that we need consume REST API, right? So while consuming REST API, we have two libraries. Okay, two libraries, like one observable, another one is promise. Okay. See, observable means, like we have, like it's not a single line operation. Multiple times we can consume, we can receive data and send data, receive data and send data. Like that we can do through observable. Mm. Promise, that is another library. This is single hit. Okay. At a single time we fetch or send data with the help of promise. Okay. Here we can see the diagram representation, like how both observable and promise will perform. Okay. Here I just provided a code example. Okay. The code example to consume REST APIs. Okay. Like here, like it's a service class. How do you identify service class? Means whenever we annotate injectable, that would become service class. Okay. Here, like I declared one variable, assigned the 10 point URI to that variable. Okay. Dependency injection constructor, we are just injecting HTTP client. Okay. So suppose if you want to work with any endpoint API, what we do, like we need to first import HTTP client HTTP address from HTTP library. Observable for the multi-record operations, we need to import from RxJS library. Okay. Here I just provided three method types like get, post, and delete. Okay, HTTP method types. Okay, everyone knows, right? Get means, suppose if you want to fetch any data, we need to use get. Suppose if you want to post any data, means submit any form data, we need to use post HTTP method. Suppose if you want to delete, suppose if you want to perform any delete operation, we need to do the code by using delete HTTP method. Okay, on the screen we can see, like fetch users, the create user, and delete user, the three types of operations I have provided here. So with the help of observable, I'm just getting, I mean, fetch the information from the backend side with the help of REST API. Okay, like sending the form data with the help of post HTTP method. You can see that in create user operation. Okay, delete user, just passing the respective ID and deleting the user respective user with the help of delete HTTP method. Okay, on the screen we can see the code example. With the help of this code, we can customize our code. Okay, here I just provided component side code, like there we have declared the three methods, right? Fetch users, delete, and create adding users, right? So how can you invoke that operations in component? Here I just provided those kind of things in that component class. Okay, first we can see fetch users, that is in component class. So we are just subscribing. Okay, subscribe. Once we subscribe that method, we can get the response. That response I am assigning to users variable. Okay, the console error means if while invoking that respective endpoint URI, if they get any error, that would catch here. Okay, that would catch and display on the console. Okay, like that, create user and delete user, just invoking that respective method and getting the response, and whatever you want to do with that response, you can do here. Same thing, delete user, just passing that user ID to delete that respective record. Like after deleting, just again calling fetch users, so we can able to verify that respective record deleted or not. Okay, like that we can code in component class. Here I just provided the difference between promise and observable. For promise and observable, we have different methods. Okay, so each method, how it would perform, I just given complete information of those promise and observable. You can go through this slide and you can understand about promise and observable. Thanks for watching this video. Uh, like I hope everyone understand this presentation. The main target of the presentation is to help the viewers, like while preparing interviews or Angular, instead of it's like a version, right? The technology means it's a version, right? So we need to set boundaries. Then only we can able to remember those things, and you can able to answer to anyone. Okay, so the mostly, like suppose if you want to work on any project, we no need to familiar with all the things. Just what are the things required to develop the project, that things, knowing that things enough actually. So the interviewer, like what they expect, like suppose if you assign any task on any project, like this guy, this resource able to develop that things or not, but they want to identify those the kind of things from the resource. Okay, so these and all, like required things to develop any project. So that's the main reason I provided that kind of information in this presentation. Like in future, like I will provide the complete tutorials, like from the basic to expert levels. For that, please subscribe my channel. Okay, please. Uh, 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 Definitely, I hope these sessions would help the information technology resources to know the things, and if you face any interviews, to explain those things. I hope this would help everyone. Okay, thanks for watching. Please subscribe my channel.